comparison later. Real important, because if you don't have that, everybody say, well, it doesn't look as good. So you need to see the current film so we can compare it against it. But when I walk in there, I'll give them, well, let's have your operator set up, have them run some samples, because they do this day in, day out. And we want to have our film mimic the same conditions as near as possible. Okay? When I walk in, I'll also take a look at the seal pad, see what kind of shape it's in. You know, you're not going to see too many seal pads like this. Okay? They're going to be cracked. This is going to be all black. It's going to be all torn to pieces. You know, and that's a demanding and difficult seal situation there. So, if my distributor has a good relationship with the customer, I generally carry some tape with me or something like that, or they'll have some tape supplies and say, hey, when's the last time you changed this tape? Why don't we just put some fresh tape down, okay? And get the best possible seal pad, seal environment that you can get there. Remember what I said? Nothing happens until you make a good seal. 3 things that make a seal are time, temperature, and pressure. What do you think causes most seal complaints? What do you do if you have a bad seal? First thing everybody's going to do is crank the heat up. It's the wrong thing to do. Okay? If you're getting seal breakage and everywhere, and it's inconsistent, like it's sealing good here and not here, that's not a temperature problem or necessarily a time problem. That's a pressure problem. Probably 3/4 of all seal complaints really are pressure problems, not time or temperature. Okay, so that's what I look for. You know, I'll look at the condition of the seal bar. If it's a hot knife or something, you know, get out and take a look.
They're always shit.
Huh?
They're always shit.
They always are. You know, sometimes I'll talk to the operator and say, how do you clean that? And if it's a hot knife and they've got a steel brush there, you know, try to be a nice person and tell whoever, take that steel brush and throw it out the shop. Never use steel on this. Never. I don't care who tells you that, just don't use steel. A lot of the hot knives are Teflon coated. That steel rips it right off. That steel, a steel brush will also put nicks in a hot wire or scuff up that surface of the knife. What's going to happen? That melted plastic is going to fill it in. And melted plastic there is just like a snowball rolling down the hill in wintertime. It's going to keep it up. Okay. So,
I've seen guys take a bunch of film, just wad up, like Joey did that. He'll wad up a bunch of extra film and then just like run it on over the knife.
this is an impulse sealer, and it heats up and cools down. So what I'll do is turn the oil up, cycle it a few times, so I can build up some residual heat in it, and then do what Joey did. Take some film and do that. And that film, this film is going to pull that film off now. Or on some equipment like this one, you have a burn off switch. You can just turn it on. And what that does is superheats the film. But I don't use that a lot because you can go through wires. Okay. All right. I've looked at all of that. I've got my samples aside. I'll give it to their operator and say, all right, make a few bags. If they say, no, you do it, put a film on and thread it. All right. Make sure you got it on, it's coming off the bottom. Center pulls like that. Yep, that's a perk wheel. Yep, yeah. Put it through the perk wheel. And here's what will happen a lot. Put it through there, you pull the film out, you put one side under the loading tray. This is the loading tray. Other side on top. You pull it through like that. You got your film. Kind of more or less centered. Held there. Pull it down. Make a seal. And you think, well, I need to index it over a little bit, so. Oh, thank you. Get it there, get a fresh seal. I'll pull a big long one down like that and make an empty bag. Just see how well it cuts all the way down. I may test the seal like that. Okay. Engage my perf wheel. Trying to make a package. Here's a common problem. Put it through, you done it. It's your first package, you're all pumped, you know the film's going to look good. You run it through the tunnel. And you're thinking, man, this thing is going to look great. Customer's excited, you're all excited. But look what happens. It comes out looking like garbage. Why? Perfs aren't in it. Exactly. It's a common problem. People thread the machine, make the first few packages, there's no perfs in it. So whenever you thread it, make sure, here's the perf, make sure you pull enough where you got it out here and you've got perfs in it so the air can evacuate. Now, let's try to make another package. What's wrong here? We have too much bag. Okay? We're going to adjust that. Take it back a little bit. That's going to give us enough film and not too much film to make a good package. When you load a product in to be shrink wrapped, the way you do it, hold the film in this hand, the product all the way in to the top right corner of the film on the loading tray. Like that, and with the hand on the inside on the product, take it out this way. Okay? I'll tap it to relax the film a little bit. Let's see what kind of package we get. That's a lot better. A lot of people are afraid of the equipment, getting their hands dirty. You know, like, I don't know what to do. So they'll come over here and you'll see them. I see this all the time. I see our reps doing it. Get up there, act like you know what you're doing. A little bit of that goes a long way in front of the customer. And when you're making this down, this has a magnet. See how it comes down and holds it? Everybody says, oh, that's going to make sure it gives it a good seal. No, those magnets could be off or something. When I do it, I'll come in here like this, come in, pull it. When this thing comes down, I'll give it a little elbow grease. Just to make sure. Okay? I need something inside the box so it's going in the conveyor.
Power takeaway needs to go a little bit further and travel. This was what we were talking about yesterday, that scaling or whatever.
Crow's feet.
Crow's feet.
What would cause that?
Just, one, this is a 307 film.
Okay.
It's not going to shrink down that good. Two, it's an extremely small tunnel.
Okay. Do you
What's
need a little
this?
bit more time?
What's this? What's the difference? Same package, same film and everything?
Better line in the tunnel.
Bigger tunnel. You know, when I go back to what it says, have your customers buy the most tunnel they can, you're going to get a better looking package.
Because the heat's more uniform, there's more space in there to...
Yeah. I mean, you barely have enough time to get the ballooning done in that. Speaking of ballooning, if y'all want to see the ballooning on this, let's do a couple so you all can see it. Get down there at that angle where you can look inside through the window. See see what happens. I'm gonna make a big package on this so I can exaggerate the balloon.
YouTube this in 70 days. Look.
See how it's ballooning? How quick it balloons and sucks down? Now, this goes back to what I said. I put a heck of a lot of bag on that product, much more than it needed. Look how well it shrunk down. I mean, that's more a factor of the time. Go ahead. I'll load this one up. This is 307 as well. A different perking system. Now you notice something on this machine? We're not having to pull the handle down. Air. You just hit these two buttons.
Yeah, it's a safety thing. Now when your hands can't be playing around your safety paper cutters. Grab them.
It's got a safety feature on it. Just where it doesn't come all down, it'll kick back. The reason being, put a timer on this. See? This is where if you're doing so many packages, you can just load it and keep right on coming.
The Rami switch.
The Rami switch?